Hello, radiant beings, and welcome to the Incoming Radiant Wellness Podcast. It's Stephanie, and before we move to today's episode on vibration and frequency and how to sync up with abundance and joy and your innate magnetism, Jem and I would like to announce that Align, our 5-week intuitive movement journey, begins October 19th. Each week is filled with mindful movement practices that bring awareness to your body, meditations that help you clear out any emotional or mental debris, and journal prompts that assist you in seeing where your blind spots may be, plus a radiant community to share your experience with. Doors open October 13th, so come on into the community now. It's absolutely free to join theincoming.co, that's C-O, and see how Align can help you magnetize all that you desire in any area of your life that you are currently focusing on. Check out the description to learn more and click all the links. And now, here's today's episode. Welcome back, radiant beings, to another episode of the Incoming Radiant Wellness Podcast. I am Stephanie.
I am Jem.
And together we are the Incoming. And today we've been feeling what's vibration, what's frequency. And Jem, where are you playing with your vibration? Where do you see that in your life? In this moment?
Yeah, I have been going to kirtan, and kirtan, for those that maybe don't know or are not familiar, is a yogic practice that is a singing of the sacred mantras. And I would say that my soul led me there because my human is definitely not a singer. So it's not something that I set out to do as Jem. But somehow I was led there. And when I'm there, there's this feeling, it catches right away. Usually it starts with an om. And because everybody knows that they're there to chant these sacred mantras, they're going to be using their throat chakra, that om comes in such a unifying blast. And it's really profound to resonate in a group of strangers, people I don't really know, and feel a part, feel a belonging. I feel this very angelic frequency diving into my system, and it's so powerful that when I'm there, I get to do really beautiful energetic work. My magnetism feels like it's really flooding through, and a lot of images come to me, a lot of visions. So I know, my human knows that I'm where I'm supposed to be, because even magical beings, like other people that are there, will seek me out. Always something happens at kirtan, and at the end, my spirit is completely lifted. I go because I'm a part of a resonance with people, and I understand the energy of what is transpiring when we give the vulnerability of our voices together in this unified expanse.
I love when so in our personal podcast, Jem tells me about these amazing, like you said, these magnetism, or these people that come up to you and share their lives or give you reflections, because we talk a lot here about living in this reflective universe. So that what you are emanating, your vibration, what you are emanating, then you will receive, you will absorb from the universe. And so to see evidence. Also, we're scientists here, as Jem says. The evidence is important, and so I love that. And I also love that you are singing. It's just so. In one of the last one of the last companies that I was with, it was a contemporary Indian company, and we the modern dance folks did, I always say, a bastardized version of Bharatanatyam, and how Grateful I am. Even today, I was thinking about that and how I was able to put those rhythms and the connection to the earth. There's this particular, well, there's the mudras, of course, of the fingers, and then this beat of the foot down to the earth. And it's a completely different way of being in my body and being embodied with this different frequency. And it seems very similar to how you're feeling in kirtan. And for me, I've been playing recently with actually African dance class. And how did it happen to be in my little neighborhood? It's 10 minutes away. I can get there in my little electric car. I realized the other day, yes, of course, reconnecting with my dancer, reconnecting with movement through space, and reconnecting with joy. There is for me in this moment nothing more joyful than we sing, and it's a call and response in African dance with the drummer or drummers who is fabulous. And so there's this call and response. We get to use our voice in resonance in community and in a chorus, and then move our bodies in this extremely joyful way. And it does, African dance, West African dance, brings joy to everyday, quotidian things. That is what it is meant to do. And it's so wonderful to realize, to arrive at this place of, there's so many layers for me going into this dance class, and one of the most prominent is actually strengthening my vibration of joy. So good, so delicious.
I love that. And I love the similarity as well of the call and response, because that activates the energetics of building. It's almost tantric, where you're building the energy, your maximum participation, right? In these encounters where we can offer our voice or our movement, our body, ourselves, essentially, and build that with others in this play, the playfulness. I once was in a group of women and just was so excited about my new outfit after the fire. And the woman said to me, wow, you access joy so easily. And I'm like, well, doesn't everybody? And no, they do not, because we can suppress our emotions. And in that moment, I thought, yeah, you know what? To access joy, like, yeah, I want to play with this vibration. I want to be joy today. I want to feel that. And I'm not even thinking about it in that moment. I'm just, yeah, because that connects me to my child. And it's something that Stephanie and I, when we come together, it's like we get to play with all of the ages of ourselves and access all of those joys and expression, because a lot of what we're talking about here is the expression, right? I'm working my throat chakra in these kirtan kind of expressive working, because the expression is also the emotions. Emotions are in motion. They need to move, right? So I'm expressing to change, to make room, to give myself space for something else to come in. So I'm processing and I'm alchemizing that energy for something that is coming online in a bigger way that I can't really see, but I'm playing with my vibration so that the frequency can also adjust and we can co-create, as opposed to being in this reactive, what's happening to me, okay, I need to move here. When you start to co-create, then you have direction, then you have the play, then you have, oh, I want to go in this lane, or I want to go in this lane. And that is a powerful place to reside.
Well, and can you, for example, when I'll come around to that, there's a question in there. And for me in African dance class, there was one moment, and it has been, I don't even know how long, maybe 20 years since I've felt this when I dance. I was just like, I love dancing. Like I felt it. It was it was a frequency that I was able to embody. And so for me, that joy, I was thinking about this with love as well, is love isn't really a feeling. Love is a vibration that we then emanate out to connect with the frequency to then pull back in to hold. So love, joy, we think of them as emotions. And I don't believe they are. I believe they are frequencies that we are able to hold for a moment of time or hold for a big amount of time in our bodies. And it's a place from which we talk a lot here. Actually, I love that you started with yoga. We are reframing our own yogic practice with emBODYbrace movement classes and MirrorWork to really recalibrate you back to your source, to your own glowing awareness, so that then you can hold these vibrations within your body. I was feeling it embodied in my sentience, in that conscious awareness of my body's sensory intelligence. I was feeling that joy. We're told we had trillions of cells. My trillions of cells were like, yay! We're vibrating in this joyous way. So where are you finding vibrations moving through in kirtan, and how does that look for you?
I was going to kirtan before the fires here in LA, and then after, I'm really in the devotional practice. It really got me into understanding what devotion is in a new way. It's something that we can conceptualize, like devotion. Oh yeah, I'm devoted to this thing that I love. But devotion is like sitting on a yoga deck or an outside yoga deck in the heat, in the sun, sweating to sing these mantras. And you come together with your voice, and all of a sudden it's like your voice becomes an echo that gets lost in the sound, the resound of others. And oftentimes my eyes are closed and I'm really tuning into the field to feel the energy, to utilize my sentience, to belong to what is bigger than me. Because that doesn't always happen in such a physical way. We don't always get to feel that sense. And through sound, through this kirtan, and because we're singing sacred mantras, it activates. I actually see them as keys where I can utilize that key to go into a space. So I'm doing a lot there, but overall, the feeling is a connection, a belonging. It feels very angelic when you come, because it's not about having a good voice. It's not about singing the loudest. It's not about a solo. It's about participation. And in that participation, you become one of the many. And I think in this reflective universe, which I love to talk about because it directly relates to mirror work, is that we're all reflecting each other. You are me. I am you. And when we can see each other in that lens, then we can offer compassion. Then we can have these beautiful kindnesses towards each other where there's a high that comes with it. After kirtan, I just feel like I'm glowing. And I know that my field is expanse. I can feel like I'm in a good mood. My smile is there. Like I can't stop smiling. Oftentimes I am on our personal podcast with Stephanie because I'm wanting to share that frequency that I'm on and land it also with my partner. So it's a really beautiful dynamic that's unfolding, and I love the physicalness of it because it gives me the evidence of these spaces that I'm able to tap into, these places that I can access, and then I'm able to maneuver, which feels very powerful for me in the work that I'm here to do.
Absolutely. And I love that I love that you're singing again, and that I'm singing too, singing and dancing. It's so resounding, like you said. And it's no wonder that frequency, vibration, resonance, they're all musical terms. They're not just up here in the ether, they're landed in music. And I find But the modulation, this word modulation came up for me when I was thinking about the vibration, which is what we hold in our bodies. It is, and we are emanating we can think of it as our uniqueness. It's our unique vibration. What you're feeling almost moment to moment. You are emanating something from you. And like Jem was saying, we have our physical body, and then we also have our subtle bodies outside, 4 to 6 feet outside. We call it your radiant light bubble. So when you come in contact with something, you're coming in contact with them before your physical body meets them, and the same with them. So that we are emanating a vibration. And then the frequencies, like joy, like love, like lack, like fear, like abundance, they're all equal in the universe, meaning there's no judgment. The universe isn't judging you for syncing up with lack, for example. Those are universal. Frequency is universal, so that you are vibrating something out through your body and your body field, to then sync up, because it's always a one-to-one relationship. If you are feeling lack, okay, then the universe is like, oh, I hear you, I feel you, I'm going to give you more lack. And it's this, as I often do here in these podcasts, if you can't see in the podcast, come to YouTube, making this figurative dialogue, because it's always a dialogue. It's you with your source, you with universe, you with God, however you want to feel it, and then of course with all the beings here on this planet. So you are emanating a vibration, which you are embodying, and then picking up, matching a frequency, and then having the ability to hold that frequency once again in your body. And so it's important to have that distinction. That vibration is it's something that we can, and control is a strong word, but we can control, we can modulate. Very much like musicians, whether you're professional or not, if you have a wind instrument, you are going to, actually, it doesn't matter if it's wind or not. Wind is maybe the most evident, because I used to play the flute, and when you blow into the flute with your breath, which is amazing, of course you do, to make the sound, the frequency, the vibration, then you have to modulate the headpiece. Otherwise, you're going to be out of tune. If you blow into the flute and it heats up and you don't modulate the tool, the instrument, then you're going to be out of tune. So what we need to do, and it is a need, and I believe you're here because you want to be aware and you want to be conscious, our dear radiant listeners and watchers, if you want to be able to become that co-creator, you need to learn how to modulate your vibration. That is what you have control over. And again, I love that we're bringing it to music and sound, because what dictates that with our body? Our breath. So it does take that moment to stop, to breathe, to say, oh, wait a minute, you mean I have a choice? I can flip that pancake, I can live in joy, or I can live in despair. I have a choice. And I say that, and I know for Gemini, and I am speaking for us as a unit here at the Incoming, that we have been in despair. We have our personal podcast. If we went back and listened to it, oh my goodness, how much have we grown and helped each other evolve? So you are where you are on your journey, and you do have a choice. And the choice is loving, embracing, and becoming that co-creator with your vibration, caring so much about what you are emanating that then you can make a change if you wish to make a change.
Yeah, we're all on this planet to evolve in some form or way, and we're moving at various speeds and doing it very differently depending how you're living your life, because like you said.
I love how you say that is the spiritual experience, the willingness to evolve.
That's it. We're all having a spiritual experience because we are all spirit embodied in this vessel. And when we have that distinction of how we're operating from that place, bringing it into music, to kirtan, to singing, to chanting. In kirtan, I'm feeling myself tune, like Stephanie was saying with the flute. I am the instrument. So I'm working with my chakra values now because I'm tuned into my centers. I have a sensitivity there. I've worked in that idea of energy and understanding myself in that way. That's what I am here to do. You might be here for another reason, but I can feel that I'm moving that, and it's helpful because, of course, in singing you have to understand breath, or you run out of breath in the middle of your your mantra, in my case. So it's this emanating and it's this refining that is going through my system, through my breath, through the chambers. I'm singing words that are ancient words that are not easy to say, right? They're not my common narrative, my common verbiage. They're other Sanskrit words. So I'm using all of these spaces within to really become and refine myself, to really become in tune with the instrument that is me. Vibration and frequency are very connected. They're homies, they're friends. And so they get used often interchangeably, and that's okay too. But yeah, just to understand the distinction and why we want to understand the distinction between one versus the other, it gives us more of like, oh, okay, so if my vibration, which we can pick up, like Stephanie was talking about, because it's out in our auric expanse, you can walk into a room and check the vibe without knowing anything. We all have the ability to tune into that field because it's outside of us. I don't need to walk up to you and be like, what happened in this room? I might need to have for verification, but I can walk into a room and be like, somebody was just fighting here, or something was happening, or there's happiness in this space. We can tune into those because we're connected to those bigger arenas, those spaces outside of the space that we embody. And so when we're going to check this vibration to see, oh, okay, we can have this space in which we can navigate our path to, do I enter this space? Do I take some more air outside? Do I make another decision? So that starts to become this creational energy of choice, of being able to make a choice, when a lot of times we may feel that we don't have a choice and we're just operating and doing yes, no, okay, next, okay, yes, no, okay, next, rather than being like, no, I'm a maybe on this one. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to change the way that I'm operating in that space. So very powerful to understand the distinction, because it's all we're here to learn as well.
And then once you can embrace, because it's, if you become aware of it, then you have that choice. Or I want to say, Matt, maybe what's better is when you become aware of it. I was thinking about this today. It's like, yeah, how do we become aware? Your body will tell you one way or another. Ugh, I hate my job. Ugh. Or, ugh, I don't like this shirt. You're doing it all the time already. You're becoming aware already. It's bringing consciousness to what you are consuming that will help you bring more awareness to then lead you to the vibration that you want to sync up its frequency to then hold that frequency. How I feel in my body is really good and expansive and juicy. And then I look and I see, well, what am I consuming? I'm consuming a lot of organic actual food, plants mostly. I'm like Jem, I don't go to Kirtan, but I've been listening to mantra. I've made this playlist for our Align 5-week intuitive movement course, and I listened to it and I was like, damn, this is good. And it's a lot of chanting, it's a lot of ohms, it's a lot of just beautiful music. And of course, I've been on my own journey here, moving to France and having this child, and it's been this willingness to evolve because there was nowhere else to go. I couldn't even drive anywhere. I was like, well, I gotta expand from within. And that, for me, that allowed me to become so aware. When I co-created this structure that's like, Stephanie, you can't leave. Okay, I hear you, universe. I created this, almost this box And I had a choice. Like Jen was saying earlier, my soul was like, no, Stephanie, you can do this. Yeah, it's hard. You can do this. Like, come on. My little cheerleader inside. But for me, that is what it took. It took a pretty extreme measure for me to actually become this aware and especially of my vibration and that, oh my gosh, you mean if I want abundance, then I need to seek it out and I need to feel that, I need to embody it. Here I live in the country and it's la campagne, it's like the country. There is just agriculture around. Jem has been here, she knows. And I can see the horizon 360. Talk about spaciousness. My human here needed that experience to care about my vibration and then switch and then flip the pancake to then emanate what I want out, to then receive and to be able to hold in my body is lighter, filled with more light. Joy is filled with more light. It is lighter than something like anxiety is pretty dense. I needed that structure to then rise like it's called a montgolfière, a hot air balloon. We saw two this morning, mon fils, to school, to rise like that hot air balloon out of the density to then see that I do have a choice and I can be a co-creator.
Yeah, I love that you went through just the dynamic of human experience, right? It is a series of sometimes pitfalls and density. We will call it density, but it's things that occur that are not maybe very pleasant. Similarly, I was in a really grief state and then I broke my foot. Same. It's like, oh, you can't move. You can't even walk. It's like, okay.
And it was around the same timing. No wonder we called each other in.
Yeah, we're like a ladder. We're going like this in the evolutionary plane. And when you can see it as not, oh, I broke my foot and everything sucks, because everything, I would argue that everything that we want is on the other side of self-love, of loving yourself. When you love yourself, how that's going to change everything that you see around you, because like Stephanie was saying earlier about this figure eighting, it's what is in our reality being served up to us. If I see that, or I'm emanating the vibration of this foot, this sucks, and I was there, it didn't feel good, I had to relearn how to walk, my job was dependent on walking, all of a sudden all of these things were connected. And I also realized, okay, so what am I supposed to do if everything just got removed from my table? I have to do the self-work. I have to work on myself. And I went to the mirror, because the mirror is going to give me that reflective nature of myself. And also I couldn't really be out reflecting with other people. So I was able to really come into this dance or this dynamic with myself, to really understand myself, to love myself, to look at myself and all of my parts and give love, offer love, do healings, do energy. I can't help but love energy so much because it's in everything, it's everywhere. So it feels very important to understand.
And we're also told by guru and scientists that we are vibration, that we are energy, that we are that moving energy. So thank you for saying that. Yeah, everything is energy.
Yeah, we are energetic beings. So energy is a language that we know. We just don't call it that. It's more that checking the vibe thing that's happening, the antenna that we have. It's such an important field because there's so much in that resource that we can resource from that place. There's so much more information than just waiting for somebody to tell me information. I'm already tapping into the energy, what's going on, all of that helps me to get a bigger picture. And when you have that bigger picture, you can be like, now I see myself in this way. And when we started in Kirtan, my soul is the one that led me to Kirtan. It wasn't my human. And I make that distinction. I know and I understand that I am the same. I am the soul and the human. But when I have that distinction between my soul that's on this observational deck looking down at my human, I get to jump up there every once in a while and be like, okay, let me look at this scenario from a bird's eye view, from seeing it from above, and then I can start to understand what's happening. Oh, I broke my foot. Okay, now I'm meant to be more contained and work with my own energy, to work with myself, to belong more to myself, because perhaps I was not so focused on that before. So in my evolution, I got full stopped to readdress, to pivot, to move in a different way. And now, I mean, my foot is still not 100 what it was. It's different. It almost feels bionic. I'm also named after the bionic woman. So it feels like learning how to walk again. Sometimes we break things to restart, to regenerate, to re-inhabit ourselves in a new way, in a new expression. Now I have that understanding. That foot, when it touches grass, it's different than my other foot. I don't know why, but it's giving me different information. It's almost synthesizing the world in a different way. It's helping me expand my vibration to belong to these frequencies that are waiting to embrace us in this way that we call energy exchange, or the dialogue between. So yeah, it's interesting to be able to oversee, to look in, to have this flipping of my perspective. I was sad for a while about my broken foot, but I can choose to stay in that sadness and not do anything, or I can move and shift and learn and not figure it out really. It's more of a sentience that I embody, because figure it out is very mind. It's very trapped in this space, where if I'm curious in my nature and I approach it with a curiosity, I leave judgment behind, I become soft. That softness relates to our energy field. It relates to that expanse of our consciousness. It's the soul field. It's the infinite field. It's the one where we relate to everything and everyone. Whew, wow, what a gift. So now I can play with all of these different elements or beings and have my participation and this feeling and sense of belonging feels very satisfying and rewarding to me. Feels like success.
And where I landed with that was, oh yeah, that's what it is. And you and I have both spoken that way, that we have our human and then our I like to think of it as our core being, or our source energy, or our higher self. All those are acceptable here at the Incoming. And it's the vibration is your human. And then the frequency your higher being holds.
Yeah, we are commingling all of the time with other people, with energy, with the wind, with nature. All of the things are in this playfulness, this expanse. And when we're in this arena of, okay, what is my vibration? What am I doing? That's now reflected in my reality. Oh, if I don't like what I'm seeing out here, then I know. That's an awareness, right?
And it does take just a change. A change. If let's say you don't like your job, but you have to go. You feel you have to go because you have a family, you have a kid, you have a house, you have these things. So you're like, ugh, I don't like my job. Okay, so you have that awareness. You have enough awareness to be like, ugh, it doesn't feel good in my body, I don't like it. You feel stuck. And I say that because I have felt similarly, not necessarily with my job, but similarly. And so it's like, okay, so you're telling me, okay, I just need to change something. Well, what does that mean? Okay, I like my commute to work, for example. Okay, so then I love that we're talking about music. Turn on something that fills you with joy. Let's say for me, there was a time, I'm laughing because I'm still somewhat of an Anglophile and I love Miss Marple. I love Agatha Christie. There was a time I was and they were murder mysteries. And that's all I was listening to. I want to say for months. And then I realized, like, what am I doing? So I was sort of stuck. Jem talks about the record player a lot. I was stuck on that groove. And so it took me just enough times that my soul was like, Stephanie, it's time for a change. And so I started listening to books on tape. I started listening to music. And it just takes a change. It could be what pajamas you wear. It could be in the morning, I'm left-handed. Instead of brushing my teeth with the left, I brush it with the right. It could be, I don't like this mug that I have my tea in every morning. Well, change the mug. It seems like it is nothing. And it is a big step on the journey toward embracing your vibration and shifting. Because as Jem said, the spiritual experience is for everyone. We all have access to it, and it is to evolve. And so if you do not like something, change something, anything in your life, and then see what happens. And especially that example of the commute, because then it's time to yourself. You can allow yourself to be washed over with, we can say, those lighter frequencies of music, of a voice that you like, of something you recorded at home, whatever it is. And then you come into work with a lighter vibration. And then, hey, you might drop down because you're there, but then you do it enough times, you take that commute enough times, then another possibility will open up to you. And then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And that's it.
Yeah, your feeling state is going to tell you a lot of information. Like, I don't like my job is something that many of us have experienced. It's like, I don't like this. I'm not comfortable here. I don't feel good here. I'm not supported. I'm not feeling my success. I'm not feeling my satisfaction. And so if you're not liking your job, to try to change your job might be more challenging than to just change what coffee mug you have or something else that you can find more liking, more lightness, more I like this. I like these sexy underwear I'm wearing. I love this outfit that I've got on. Find other ways to play with the energy. Light things, like exactly what Stephanie described. My commute, I'm listening to this awesome podcast called Radiant Wellness. It puts me in a good mood. I like this mantra music. I like this dance music, whatever it is, but finding those ways to find lightness. Because as you become lighter, you're going to show up in a different vibration in the field of your work. And then how people respond to your vibration will be different, because these are the laws of the universe. It's finding those other expressions outside of the target that you have of like, I hate my job, because changing that when you have such a strong connection for that is gonna be more challenging to move that one rather than my cup, my outfit, my hairdo, my whatever you can do for yourself to infuse more self-love, right? So that expression feels good in our body, and to be in this dynamic, and so fall in love with yourself first, because then, everything else, being able to access that love for yourself gives you the fodder for all of the other things that are going to happen. It's not just, I found love for myself and now, I'm expanse. It's like, wow, now I have this powerful tool that anytime I'm knocked off, because we will be knocked off, we're connected to everyone around, right? But when I get knocked off, I know how to find my way back. And that's what we're doing here in our practices, in the way that we've come to understand ourselves, in the way that we operate together, reaching out to Stephanie after Kirtan to elevate my vibe, to share that vibration, to still be in that
and
vibration.
elevate mine as well, just by listening. Absolutely.
Because we're connected. It's how powerful. We're just like, it's like an embrace I get to give her when she's so far away. How long it's been since we've had an embrace, friends?
Oh my gosh, too long.
Ages. She gives the best hugs, everybody.
We do give pretty amazing hugs, actually, like legit
We're
hugs.
huggers.
Well, and I love what you were saying with the like the side channel, because again, the universe, your higher self, it doesn't judge you. Oh, you like this? Okay, so I'm going to give you more of that. I'm going to give you more of that. So it doesn't matter what you change to like it more. You will then raise your vibration, and you will then be a match for a different frequency that you might meet the person that then tells you, oh, you don't like your job. Well, hey, I have a job for you. That's what I've been waiting for. So that's how it works. And what's so cool about that is that, yeah, it is what we might consider the small, the little things. When I go for when I walk, not every day, but I walk. And yesterday, because we can see the sunset, and I was just like, I have to go walk and just let that energy wash over me. I just need my eyes to see the light. And I have never done that in my life, because I've always been running. Running was a big thing. I was like, I got to go for my run. And when I went for my run, I was aware of my body and moving through space. But now, like I said, in this box that I co-created for myself to evolve here in this moment, walking is what I love. So now to catch those moments, and it's like, oh, I gotta get out there. And it's like I gotta devour, I gotta consume that frequency of joy to then emanate it back out. The universe does not judge you. It does not weight bigger, smaller levels of things to do. Match that to you. So it's okay. And actually, in a lot of times, it's really important to move around, to be the serpentine, to take the scenic route around, because sometimes it is just a big boulder. And it seems like a big, immovable boulder. So the only path is to go around. And by going around, you are not avoiding, you are amplifying. You are amplifying that universal frequency in a way that you can hold on to. And that's what's really important. You need to have the space to hold on to it. Because if you can't, then you might for a millisecond, and then it goes away, and you might not collect enough evidence that allows you to see a different way around.
Yeah, beautiful summation of that, because we are conditioned to think it's the big things. It's the job, it's the partner, it's the thing. And so if I don't have that thing, already those words, I don't have, it's already working against what I want, what I desire, right? When we can take out those bignesses and work on the little, it's the rituals. The universe is also not like, so that was a little cup of tea and that wasn't big enough.
Yeah, it's not
it just
keeping
there's
score.
the feeling.
The universe is not keeping score at all.
No, it's just capturing the feeling sense, which
Yes.
is the vibration, right? And Stephanie and I, will have something happen to us. She plays scratchers a lot. I'm all outing you.
Yes, we do.
But
Yes.
when you win, the first thing out of my mouth is, yes, more of this, please. Yes, I love this. Yes. And then I get really excited, like a kid gets excited for a lollipop or something. And that excitement is speaking a language of the universe, which is, oh, she likes this. She gets really riled up on winning, on abundance. And so then the universe, oh, that's what you want? Oh, okay. Da, 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 da. So it's more in that game. It's more in that essence. We just think, oh, I have to get this big thing. It's so funny to come to this realization in this time, because of course I was there thinking, oh, I have to catch this big wave over here. But no, it's the little waves that really teach you how to ride a wave. And then you get to play and stuff. And so then when the big wave comes, it's like, oh, now I have more lift and more acceleration. I'm not really a surfer, but I'm going with the metaphor.
We do speak in metaphors here. Yes, absolutely.
Cannot help it.
Well, and I'm glad you brought us there, because it is a practice. Really begin to modulate, play with your vibration, feel how you feel, and be the co-creator of your life. Love and embrace your vibration so hard that it doesn't matter what external stimulus you are getting, that you are able to continue to search for and match that frequency that you want to call in to your body. There it
collect the
is.
evidence also so that
Collect.
you can see it.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And then what you always say, Jem, is write it down. Write it down. I want to see abundance. Take a big piece of paper in bright red, write abundance, and then put that over your bed. Look at it every morning. We talk about being scientists. It is not rocket science, friends. We are not rocket scientists, nor do we want to be. We are livers of our experience, and we are here to experience embodiment, and we are here to experience evolution, and we are here, most of all, to share it. You do not have to do it alone. Let go of that narrative as best you can, and then we are here to provide a support for you when you need. So thank you for joining. Thank you for listening and watching. And gros bisous.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to the incoming Radiant Wellness Podcast. If our vibration resonates with you, subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you would like to join our community, theincoming.co, click the link in the description to gain exclusive access to our weekly classes, monthly offerings, intensives, and courses. Until next time, shine bright, radiant beings.